Nvidia has finally presented their RTX 3000 series graphics cards, Nintendo celebrates the 35th anniversary of Mario, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will get a next-gen release. Hi, I'm James and this is this week's Gaming News Recap. Nvidia has presented their new lineup of graphics cards on Tuesday and, well, it has to be said, they are looking to deliver some serious graphical power. Now, there is a lot that I could tell you about these new graphics cards, but most of it is pretty technical and I don't want to bore you all to death. Plus, this is still primarily a gaming channel, so I'll keep it digestible. Jensen, the co-founder and CEO of Nvidia, showed off the new RTX 3000 series of GPUs and promised that they will deliver a huge advantage in comparison to the now 2-year-old RTX 2000 series graphics cards. The new Ampere architecture-based graphics cards will offer up to 2x the performance and 1.9 times the power efficiency over the previous Turing-based generation. Nvidia has promised that the RTX 3070, the cheapest one of the bunch, will even be a little more powerful than the last gen RTX 2080 Ti. And if that will actually be the case, it would be pretty damn mind-blowing, especially because it would beat a €1,259 graphics card at more than half of the price. Anyway, there were 3 new graphics cards announced: the RTX 3070, the RTX 3080 and the RTX 3090. The 3090 will be replacing the traditional Titan card and will set you back a whopping €1,549. But don't worry, the RTX 3080 and 3070 will cost significantly less at €719 and €519 respectively. Well, at least that'll be the price for the Founders Editions if you choose to buy them directly from Nvidia themselves. The RTX 3070 will feature 5,888 CUDA cores, have a boost clock of 1.73 GHz, and will have 8 GB of GDDR6 memory. The RTX 3080 will have a staggering 8,704 CUDA cores at a boost clock of 1.71 GHz and a whopping 10 GB of the new and faster GDDR6X memory. And then the RTX 3090. That one will be an absolute beast with an eye-watering 10,496 CUDA cores at a 1.7 GHz boost clock, and it will have a massive 24 GB of GDDR6X memory. And this will make it the first GPU ever capable of running games at resolutions up to 8K at 60 frames per second. All the new RTX 3000 cards will come with HDMI 2.1 ports, so you'll be able to use them for 4K gaming at frame rates up to 120 FPS. Now, those looking to buy the new Nvidia graphics cards should know that Nvidia recommends a pretty beefy power supply of at least 750 watts for the 3080 and 3090 cards. The RTX 3070 can run on a 650 watt PSU. You can't pre-order the graphics cards just yet, but the Nvidia RTX 3080 will be available from September 17th, the RTX 3090 from September 24th, and the RTX 3070 will launch sometime in October. And if you want a bit more in-depth analysis of what those new graphics cards will be able to do, I'm happy to refer you to Gamers Nexus, Jay's 2 Cents, Linus Tech Tips, or hell, even to Bitwit. But please stay here for the rest of this episode. The Xbox Series S, the weaker next-gen Xbox console, has leaked yet again. This time on a Xbox Game Pass Ultimate trial voucher included with a new controller. This leak follows another one from early August when the packaging for the new Xbox controllers mentioned the Xbox Series S. The Series S is rumored to be a cheaper and weaker next-gen console that will come with 7.5 GB of usable RAM, 4 teraflops of performance, of graphical performance at least, and the same AMD Zen 2 processor that is going to be found in the Xbox Series X. One of the most iconic game characters has turned 35. And I'm of course talking about Nintendo's mascot Mario. It's been 35 years since he first jumped onto the gaming scene in Japan, and Nintendo wants to celebrate his birthday with some special announcements. Amongst these announcements are a few new games for the Nintendo Switch, and first up is Super Mario 3D All-Stars, a collection with Super Mario 64 from 1997, Super Mario Sunshine from 2002, and Super Mario Galaxy from 2007. The three games are optimized to play at higher resolutions than they originally came out. The bundle will also include a music player with the complete soundtrack of the three games, and that will consist out of 170 tracks. Super Mario 3D All-Stars will be available in a limited run from September 18 until March 31st. You'll be able to buy the game both digitally and on a game card, although that the game cards are already sold out at Belgian retailers, so your luck may vary. The second announcement was Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. That brings Mario Kart into the real world. Well, sort of. In the bundle, you'll find the game along with a real-life kart racer of Mario or Luigi and 4 gates. The idea is that you place these gates in your living room and then drive your kart through them using your Switch. Then you'll be able to race with your living room as the backdrop of that race. A fun twist is that your real-life kart will actually react to the in-game items, like if you pick up and activate a mushroom, your kart will get a real-life speed boost, but if you get hit by a shell, you'll stop. The game will also support local multiplayer, but in order to play with other players, they'll need their own Nintendo Switch with their own copy of the game and their own kart. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit will be available starting October 16th and only on Nintendo Switch, of course. Nintendo announced another piece of hardware to celebrate Mario's birthday, the Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. This new mini console / clock, based on the original from the 80s, will contain the original Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, known in Japan as Super Mario Bros. 2, and a special version of Ball. Oh, and the mini console can also still be used as a clock. The Game & Watch will be available on November 13th. And there is more. Nintendo also announced Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, a modern version of Super Mario 3D World that will offer co-op play. The game will launch February 12th, 2021, and on the same day Nintendo will also release a new Amiibo double pack with Cat Mario and Cat Peach. Oh, and in case we didn't have enough Battle Royale games yet, Nintendo is happy to give us yet another one. In Super Mario Bros. 35, you'll take on 34 other players to be the last Mario standing. This will be done not only by running a course, but also by defeating enemies. These defeated enemies then will be sent to other players. Super Mario Bros. 35 will be available for Nintendo Switch Online members only from October 1st until the 31st of March in 2021. A few weeks ago, Ubisoft announced that the collector's edition of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry 6 and Watch Dogs Legion on Xbox would be shipped without discs in Europe and the UK. Well, Ubisoft has announced that this won't be the case after all. Ubisoft has told in a statement that they have listened to the feedback of the many disgruntled fans and that they have decided to include a disc into the collector's editions after all. Crytek has announced the PC system requirements for Crysis Remastered, and it looks like you won't be needing a monster of a PC to run this game after all. And that's effectively killing off the "but can it run Crysis" meme. These are the minimum system requirements: Windows 10 64-bit, an Intel Core i5-3450 or AMD Ryzen 3 processor, 8 GB of memory, 20 GB of storage, an Nvidia GeForce GTX 1050 Ti or AMD Radeon 470 running DX11, and the recommended requirements are Windows 10 64-bit, an Intel Core i5 7600K or an AMD Ryzen 5, 12 GB of memory, 20 GB of storage, an Nvidia GeForce GTX 1660 Ti or AMD Radeon Vega 56 running DX11, Crysis Remastered will launch on PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One September 18. CD Projekt Red's CFO Piotr Nielubowicz, and I'm sorry if I butchered that name, has announced that Cyberpunk 2077 will not be delayed again and will be released on November 19 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. CD Projekt Red has also confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077 will not take up 200 GB of storage on PC, and they also promised that the system requirements will be announced soon. There were a lot of rumors the past few months that AT&T was looking to sell off Warner Bros. Games in order to reduce their massive debt. But now, according to Bloomberg, it appears that AT&T is no longer looking to sell off the division. A change of heart could be attributed to a change in leadership at AT&T, because in July, COO John Stankey took over the position of CEO after Randall Stevenson left the role. Another reason could be the heavily rumored upcoming release of a new Harry Potter game that could bring in a lot of money. And then there is the whole COVID-19 situation that boosted the sales of games all over the world. Milestone has announced that Ride 4 will also come to next-gen consoles, and there is good news for those who already bought the game on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, because Milestone is offering free next-gen upgrades. Xbox One players will be able to get that free upgrade at any time they want through Smart Delivery, while PlayStation 5 players will have to download the free upgraded version before April 30th, 2021. Ride 4 on next-gen consoles will offer players 4K 60fps gameplay and faster loading times. Ride 4 will launch on PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One October 8, and the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X version will be released January 21st. CD Projekt Red has announced that The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will also come to the next-gen consoles. The upgraded version of the game will contain the base game and the 2 expansion packs and will feature a range of visual and technical improvements, including ray tracing and faster loading times. Oh, and it's not only the PlayStation 5 and Series X that will get these improvements, because the PC version of the game will also get the updates. And have I told you yet that it's going to be free for everyone who owns the game on PlayStation 4, Xbox One or PC? Because it is. The next-gen bundle will also be available to buy as a standalone purchase for new players on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. The new complete edition for The Witcher 3 has not yet received a release date. Microsoft Flight Simulator is officially the biggest Xbox Game Pass launch ever, with over 1 million players in the first 2 weeks since its release. In these 2 weeks, there have been more than 26 million flights and more than 1 billion miles flown. That's the equivalent of flying around the world over 40,000 times. Microsoft and Sogo Studios have also committed to keep delivering free and paid updates for the next 10 years. Another week, another bit of Epic versus Apple news, and I'm not going to recap the whole story here, so if you for some reason don't know what I'm talking about, check out our now 3 previous recaps, and I'll put a link up here somewhere to the first one that tackles the whole saga. Now, we already knew that the next court hearing in the whole matter was scheduled for September 28, but Epic Games has just now submitted a 128-page long preliminary injunction against Apple in an attempt to force Apple to bring Fortnite back to the App Store. Just last week, Epic Games was denied an injunction that would have the same effect by the judge because she thought that Epic strategically chose to breach Apple's App Store agreements in order to be able to go after Apple in court. But in this new filing, Epic argues that more than just its reputation has been harmed because they lost over 60% of their active Fortnite players since the ban on the App Store. Epic also states that iOS is the biggest platform for Fortnite, with 116 million registered users on the platform. And that's just shy of a third of the 360 million registered users on all platforms. Epic also says that they're worried that they'll never see these users ever again, and that in that way these users on iOS have become collateral damage. Epic also claims that Apple is threatening to deny any attempts to apply for a new developer account for at least a year, quoting a communication from Apple itself. And Epic is also arguing that the harm it would endure by being denied the opportunity to access even a single new user among the 1 billion plus iOS users for at least the next year is harm worth creating a preliminary injunction for. Apple, meanwhile, simply stated that if Epic would just revert its payment system to the old one, they would reinstate Fortnite on the App Store and grant Epic their developer account again. Epic, however, keeps refusing and even tries to submit Fortnite updates designed to violate the guidelines of the App Store. Apple goes on by saying that the whole situation is not fair towards other developers on the platform and that Epic is putting its customers in the middle of their fight. Apple hopes that they can work with Epic again sometime in the future. And that's all the news I've got for you this week. And I'll be back with more gaming news next week, so do come back then. And until then, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you guys next week. Goodbye.